Hey everyone, what's going on? Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. So, I'm gonna do a very brief podcast on Saturday, the December 16th, right? Because actually, I couldn't go to the movies to watch The Last Jedi last Thursday because it was too goddamn cold, man. It was too goddamn cold. And also, I don't want to raise my voice because, we have neighbors. And so I don't want to disturb my neighbors. What's going on, huh? What's going on? What? Okay, so I bought the ticket tonight actually for Star Wars. It's the opening weekend, and I think it made a lot of money. Um, Critics are saying that it's by far the best movie after the Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back, from the 1980s. You guys remember that? So far, it has a lot of good reviews and all that. And obviously, Star Wars is a big franchise, so it better be better. It better be good. So I bought the tickets for the 10 o'clock show. So it's 9 o'clock now. I'm gonna sign off of this in half an hour, and I'm just gonna briefly talk about stuff that I want to talk about. From tech to not so politics to a lot of other things that you all may relate to, right? Right. Okay, so let's just dive into it. Let's just dive into my cheat sheet, right? And what's the first thing I want to talk about? Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I watched that again. Not this weekend. I think last weekend I watched that. It's a funny movie. I mean, it's different. With what's his name? That kid, Chris Pratt, and Zoe Saldana. Oh man, she's so hot. Okay, so and yeah, so that's what I do. I watch that, and then I just took it easy. This last night actually, I had my company's holiday party at the ship. Although I don't know what the hell happened. So they were calling my office manager that I did not pay last night. What the fuck? How did I leave without paying? How is it possible? So this morning, then I had to call them, and I had to give them the freaking credit card information. I'm like, how come I left without paying? How is that possible? Because I was with a friend of mine who visited me. My engineers left, my office manager left, and then we went to another place. So I took my, we got up, obviously, right? We had a table. Obviously, we got up. We wore our coats. I had a parka on, and you just saw us leaving without paying you? How is that possible? Like usually, okay, so this is what happens, right? Sometimes, you forget. Sometimes you forget, and so the restaurant has to tell you, oh, sorry, by the way, you didn't pay, and then you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, okay, I didn't realize. Here's the card, like nobody freaking asked me. How is that possible? How is that possible? In any case, so this morning I called them, and then I gave them credit card information, and now I was just talking to my office manager, right? So they charged me twice. They fucking charged me twice, man. What the fuck? They charged me twice. And then it's so fucked up. So fucked up. I have a feeling that there's something fishy going on with that bar. It's a beautiful bar, but in Soho, New York, but there's some, I don't know. Why did they charge me twice? So I told my office manager to call them on Monday, and get it straightened out, you know? That's bullshit, you know? Like you're charging me twice. Um, so in any case, so that was my rant on, you know, these bars and restaurants, holiday party. But other than that, it was fun. Everybody had a good time. And a friend of mine who's a very distant cousin of mine, who's also an engineer, he was visiting me, and you know, everybody had a good time. Everybody had a good time. A couple of my engineers left earlier because they had to get up early, obviously, and then I think we left around like 11 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't stay there for too long, man. I didn't stay there for too long. Okay, so that's that, right? So yeah, so I had my company's holiday party, and I usually treat my engineers and my workers. You know, you have to do that. You have to keep the forces. You know, uh, you have to keep the troops morale up. You know, that's very important. You get my point, right? Yeah. All right. So without raising my voice and without acting like I'm ranting, building futuristic cities and neighborhoods. Okay, so apparently there are investors, including these big shots like Bill Gates, what's his name? There's Jeff Bezos, and these countries like Saudi Arabia. Although I mean, I have to say something about Middle East, which is important. I want to say I just want to say something about Middle East. Why is it has been a shit show for such a long time, and I really feel bad for the people who are suffering. You know. But getting back to my point of building futuristic cities and neighborhoods, so like Silicon Valley, to an extent, I think is a futuristic um, city with like self-driving cars and buses and you know, the internet everywhere and better public transport system and better highways and whatnot, whatever the hell it is, right? So that's so some of these actually countries and some of these tech guys actually tech people are actually investing in some very specific parts of the United States and also as I mentioned, I think Saudi Arabia is doing that too. I mean, they have, you know, they have the oil fucking money. Um, what is it called? The dirty money? No, no, no. There's another term for oil money. Is that what is that term for oil? Dirty oil money. Let me look it up. Hold on a second. What is the term? What is the term for for dirty oil money? Until we cleanse our democracy of the influence of dirty energy, money, you know how Google it is. I'm pretty sure there's a term for that. Oh God, yeah, Greenpeace. The the word Mazaska means money in Lakota, an indigenous language spoken by the Standing Rock. Oh, so this is the issue with the Standing Rock, and then the oil pipe from the Canadian provinces is so politicized. As actually, I don't want to talk about it. But so yeah, without digressing too much, yeah, building futuristic neighborhoods and cities. But for that you need money. But people have money, so there you go, there you go. And I think people who have money, they should actually they should invest in education for all these kids, regardless of whether poor or if they are what do you call if they are inner city, whatever the hell it is. I think like we have a lot of like inner city, like in big cities, right? We have a lot of kids who actually probably most likely need help, and they're ready to be part of the higher education and all that. They need guidance. I mean, if anything, these people with big money, they should actually invest in the education of these poor kids, because education is something that's important. That's very important. I mean, I can go on and on about the education system on this planet, which is really not what it should be, because sometimes you feel like, you graduate from high school, or you graduate from your undergrad, or you graduate from your grade school. I mean, the grade school or undergrad probably gives you more of a leverage in order for you to actually say, oh yeah, you know what? I think I learned this shit. Now I can apply it, I can use it. I'm not talking about basic shit, like basic, like, maths or basic. I'm talking about like all the theory that goes into the fucking bullshit, uh, all these courses, and that you never get to apply in the real world. So that's the biggest disconnection between the real world and the theory that's taught in schools. In any case, so I don't want to go on and on about that, but you get my point, right? So futuristic cities and neighborhoods. Futuristic cities and neighborhoods. So there's that, and what else is going on, huh? What are you guys doing on a Saturday night, huh? Huh? I'm taking it easy because I was out last night. So yeah, I'm taking it easy. I'm gonna go to watch The Last Jedi 3D. Holy shit, 3D, man! Holy shit. What else is going on, huh? All right, so let's just plow through, and let's just jump ahead and talk about another topic from my cheat sheet. Human brain is a number of neurons. Okay, so this is what I was listening to the other day on the TED Talks. You guys know TED Talks, right? TED Talks. Human brain has twice as many number of neurons than our closest ancestral mammalian animals. Did I say that right? I'm not a biologist, but you get my point, right? Our closest ancestors, our closest, what's that fucking term the biologists use? I'm not I have to learn more of a Darwinian terms. I'm an engineer. I'm not a fucking biologist. But you get my point, right? So apparently, for example, monkeys are our closest species in our species, right? Monkey. And they have apparently their neurons are in numbers are much less in numbers. And so this lady was talking about that and how they are doing research on human brain and how actually human brain actually evolved to be this bigger and having so many number of neurons. I mean, I thought that my guru um, um, psychonaut guru, Terence McKenna, has a theory that when the when the monkeys came out of the jungle in Africa, they started, you know, walking upright, and then they found these mushrooms. They were growing on cow dung or animal dung, and they ate them, and then because they were like dinner plates, you know, and then some of these mushrooms were psychedelic, and then the psychedelic actually mushrooms gives you actually ability to be more vigilant and survive, and it increases your power to grow your brain, and that's how neurons actually multiply. But no, that's actually not true. That's not scientific. That may be true, but there's no evidence to actually prove that. But what I learned from that was that there's a reason why we have more numbers of neurons in our brains than the other animals, and apparently, and this was something I actually learned, and this is something you guys should know, and I don't want to have a spoiler alert, but apparently the neurons or multiplication of neurons or generation of new neurons depends on the food. So all these animals, you know, they spend like 10 hours every goddamn 10 hours, maybe 11 hours trying to find food, right? We don't because we have evolved. Our brain evolved with the help of a certain type of food. And I'm going to, oh shit, the battery is running. Oh shit, I didn't charge the goddamn computer. But give me 1 second. So let me just charge the computer, and then I'll get back to you guys. Okay? Sorry. Okay, it's all charged up. Okay, so sorry about that. But apparently the reason why we have more number of neurons than other species in our tree branches, I mean the biological branches of our closest species, I mean species closest to us. So we have, okay, so what the hell I was saying? Oh yeah, okay. So we started walking upright, and then somehow we evolved, not because we started walking upright, but somehow, again, getting back to my point of how many hours these animals spend just to find food, because that's their purpose, and how we have evolved from that, because we have more number of neurons. But how? Why? How and why? Apparently, more number of neurons in our brain means that we have actually, our brain can do more functions than the animals. Our brains can do things like thinking and more creative things and more more advanced than animals. So how? Because we are a branch off from animals, gorilla, monkeys, whatever it is, the hell it is, right? So so in order for neurons to grow actually in the brain, apparently, you need food. You need food that has energy to actually grow more neurons. So, for example, um, the food that these animals eat, right? It's like raw food, whatever it is, leaves or nuts. Well, maybe not nuts, but like leaves or maybe like very raw, basic food that obviously no human being wants to eat, would want to eat, but they have no choice, and that's where they're stuck. But we actually got out of that. Apparently, human beings got out of that, and we learned how to cook. Because when you cook food, right? When you cook food, except for I mean salads and like raw, whatever all that is, the cooked food. Look at meat, okay? I don't want to sound like a meat lover, but I'm just saying. Right? I know there are a lot of vegetarians out there that don't like to talk about meat, but I'm just saying, like, if you are an animal like a cheetah or a lion, right? You eat raw meat, but that's actually not as good as like cooked meat. So the cooked meat has a lot of energy. Cooked food has a lot of energy, a lot more energy than like raw, um, except for maybe vegetables and all that, right? So we learned how to actually not spend 11 hours a day, 11 hours a day just to find food so we can survive. And then we came up with grains and all this, and eventually, obviously. So that's how neurons actually grew in the numbers in our brain. Isn't that fucking amazing? So for our brain to actually be much much bigger in terms of number of neurons, I don't know if it's bigger than in size. I think it is. I think it is bigger than in size compared to our ancestral hereditary other animals because we learned how to cook food, and the cooked food actually gave us more energy, and then that's how we generated neurons. Isn't that fucking amazing? Dude, that's like the basic that it's not basic actually, it's something that actually is fascinating. It's fascinating that how we evolved from being gorillas and monkeys to be technologically more advanced than any of these other animals because we learned how to cook. Well, we found fire, and then we said, all right, so let's just fucking like, grill something, grill one of those fucking legs that I snatched from that fucking animal, and then just grill it. Let's grill it and see what happens. And then you know how grilled food is, like grilled meat, how fucking amazing it is. And then we use the fire to actually come up with more cooked foods. And that actually gave us more energy. The cooked foods give you more energy, apparently, to grow more neurons. And that's what happened to us. So there you go. So that's my take on that. What else? What else? Okay, so without going too much into that topic, I'm not a neurobiologist or neuroscientist, but I obviously, I read, not that I read, I listened to TikToks. Okay, so that's my take on that. Okay, the next topic, Trump's space program. So apparently Trump is serious about sending astronauts back to moon and eventually to Mars. How? I don't know. I mean, Trump makes a lot of policy, decisions via Twitter, so we don't know. But since NASA is involved, and NASA is a serious agency that doesn't work off of the Twitter policy. And oh, by the way, um, speaking of that, right? Elon Musk actually made, dude. Elon Musk made a fucking another day in history yesterday, which is Friday. You know what he did? He actually launched a used a used rocket that he had used before, and he had brought it back to Earth, right from the space. He had brought it back like a long time ago, Falcon 9, one of those fucking rockets, and so he actually relaunched it to go to International Space Station with with the spaceship, which is also relaunched because it was launched before. Now it's a relaunch. So this is the history. It's where you can actually, he made the history in 2015, I think, by bringing back the rockets, right? Because otherwise it becomes space junk. But this time he said, you know what? I'm going to bring the rocket back. Not only I'm going to bring the rocket back, but I'm going to actually relaunch it. Oh man, this guy's fucking genius, man. This guy's fucking genius. I believe that he's going to actually land a cargo ship in on Mars in 2022, and he's going to land a human being in 2024, regardless of what Trump says or what NASA does, because there's government, right? Government is always slow. Maybe with Trump, maybe it may be not. It may not be too slow. Hopefully not. All right, so that's that. And what else? Oh yeah, climate change. Apparently, climate change is real. You guys know about the wildfires in California. Although I haven't checked what the fuck happened. What do you guys have any idea? What's the last news for California wildfires? Because I'm not sure. Because they can't contain the wildfire, man. This is if they can't contain the wildfire, so then what the fuck is gonna like spread the whole fucking California, Southern California? So I'm just trying to understand California wildfires. Wild. Okay, so California wildfires apparently. Okay, this is the news from USA Today, right? Ferocious California wildfire grows more erratic, dangerous as wind picks up. Shit. Firefighters see no quick end in sight for the ferocious Thomas fire raging in Southern California. Well, climate change is real. And I was reading the other day on, what was that, CNN? Money, whatever the hell that is. CNN Money app. Yeah, you guys should actually download that CNN Money app. I'm not saying that I'm all for money, but it gives you a lot of perspectives on not only the news, but also it gives you tips on how to be financially stable and all that. But without digressing, looks like the fire is just burning, man. Fire is just burning. The fire has burnt more than 400 square miles northwest of Los Angeles and is only 40% contained. Are you kidding me? What? Forecasters expect strong Santa Ana winds to continue to whip the flames with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Wait for it, wait for it. shit, man. Holy shit. Um, yeah, people now will have to live with this shit. Just like people live with hurricanes and down in the Caribbeans and all that. Now it's like raging fire, man. It's like out of this world. It's like freaking, only you can see that in the movies. What the heck, man? What the heck? I don't understand. So yeah, that's my take on climate change. Climate change is real. I don't think that's a hoax, or I mean hoax, not a hoax, hoax. But I think, um, oh yeah, I mean I think that the the liberal views on that is it can be distorted, because the problem with the liberals is always they're gonna be like, oh no, we don't want banks, we don't want any credit card, we don't want anything, we just want freedom. Really? Yeah, right. I don't want to. Okay, this is not meant for me to like bash like liberals or conservatives for that matter. Um, but the other thing I was reading the other day was about how the Arctic, northern Arctic ice is melting, and how the temperatures are rising to a point where the algorithms are not going to work because the temperatures are rising faster, and that's another scary thing, to be honest with you. So we have actually fucked up this planet. Um, so is this like climate change is irreversible? Is that what it is? If that's the case, then the planet is gonna shit. We all gonna die, and the planet is gonna rise again. That's it. Do I sound like George Carlin? Maybe I do, but I mean, you know what it is? Like if you fuck up something, right? You fuck up something. You know what they say? Oh, there's another term for that. You tell a lie because you did something stupid, right? You did something really stupid, and you tell a lie. And then you're trying to cover up the lie with another lie, with another lie, with another lie. And at some point in time, the shit hits the fan, right? The shit hits the fan. And this is how we are. This is where we are. We human beings. We have fucked up this goddamn planet even to this day. Look at gas guzzling, where the fuck it is. I'm sorry, I'm running, I'm not running, I'm driving a smart car. I mean, a smart car is so good with gas, man. It's not like fucking SUV or those fucking bullshit. We have to admit, yes, we have fucked this planet up. Now we have to be more responsible to admit that, first of all, and second of all, to actually come up with corrective actions so that it's not really irreversible. You get my point, right? Yeah. So I don't want to go on and on about 34 minutes, 27 seconds, and for my cheat sheet, let's see. Well, what else? What else? Climate change, all idiot drivers. Obviously, New York is full of idiot drivers. New York is the worst place to drive any car. This town is full of idiots, especially idiot drivers. Any race, where the fuck it is, I don't know. It's not racial and any of that, but the drivers are idiots. I'm telling you. last but not the least, right? Kepler 90 with 8 planets. Kepler 90 with 8 planets. So Kepler telescope out in the space, obviously, is out in the space, has discovered a, a star system with 8 planets. But where is it? Where is it? It's like a 1,500 light years away, and I'm laughing at these human beings. Yeah, okay. So what are you gonna do? I mean, you discovered this, but uh, but are you gonna get there? How? You have no freaking means to get there. Um, oh yeah, by the way, so this morning I watched, the Star Trek, the original, The Next Generation with Jean-Luc Picard and what's the counselor's name? She's kind of hot, but she doesn't have the shape for me to say like hot as like Zoe Saldana. She's hot. Yeah, she has the shape, man. She has the freaking shape. NASA New Planet News. Okay, so this is what I want to tell you guys. NASA New Planet News. Kepler 90 becomes mini version of our solar system after emergence of eighth planet. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, by the way, I just came up with something came to my mind. Christian Post. Why am I reading Christian Post? Christian Post and Kepler 90. Oh, yeah, that sounds like the opposite. Christians don't believe in other worlds, right? They believe that the Christians are, any of these religious people, Jews or whatever the hell it is, Muslims. They don't believe in the earth to be revolving around the sun. I don't think so. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. I mean the religious fundamentalists. Okay, so Kepler 90, everything goes to Wikipedia, by the way. So Kepler 90 is a G-type man sequence star located about 2,545 light years from Earth in constellation of Draco. It's notable for having a planetary system that has an equal number of observed planets to the solar system. Okay, so okay. I'm laughing at these people. I'm literally laughing at these people. Okay, you have discovered this, right? First of all, your telescope has discovered this. But it's 2,500 or 2,500 light years away. Does this give you any perspective of any usefulness? What's the usefulness of that? I'm just trying to understand. I'm not an astrophysicist. I'm not. I don't work for NASA or nothing. But I'm an engineer. So I want to. I want like. Not that I want quick fixes, but I want a realistic solution to us finding other planets, as opposed to other intragalactic beings trying to find us. And again, that's a huge topic. We can go on about that as to why we are alone. It's impossible that we are the only species among like 9 billion star systems in our own galaxy, and there are goddamn millions of galaxies out there, and And read Fermi paradox, and that gives you a perspective on that. But okay, so my okay, without going too much into digression uh, of what we should be doing as far as contacting other species, other beings in other star system. I think the first thing we need to do is to be very realistic. You know how these telescopes and all that, they tell you, oh, we found another solar system that's like 2,500 light years away. And then my point to that is, yeah, you know how long it's going to get you to get there? Or for them to get to us? Presuming, presuming, presuming that they have the machines and the ships, spaceships, to actually travel at a light speed. It's going to take them 2,500 years. Sir, man, it's going to take them 2,500 years to get to us. Same thing for us to get to them. So there we go. There's no point in you telling me that you have discovered a planet that's 25 year light years away. So that's it, man. And woman and every gender that's out there. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Sooner than later. Later than sooner. Sooner than later. Right? Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go to the theater and watch the Star Wars The Last Jedi. So I'll speak to you all soon. Be well and enjoy your weekend. Okay? Just be well. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.